Hello and welcome to another Arkis video, and this time we are doing this week's race C at Watkins Glen. I finally had some extra time to do some racing, so I decided to try this race. Even though Group 3 isn't my strongest car class, I feel fairly comfortable driving around Watkins Glen, so that will hopefully even it out somewhat. This is my first 2 races of this week, and let's just get straight into this one. First thing you might notice is that we are on the American servers. This is the morning races in the Americas. It's mid-afternoon where I live, and since I haven't done much practice on this one, I did a few qualifying laps, I decided to join the morning races on the other side of the Atlantic Ocean to sort of ease into this one. And ease into this one also goes for turn 1. Remember, I am on the hard tires and don't want to overcook it straight away. I also spent some time practicing the pit entry to make sure I wouldn't mess up that one either. We've already got some penalties up ahead. People getting track limit penalties coming through turn 1, and I am just backing off, trying to take it nice and easy. I might have been a bit too slow for the DTR behind me, but I just had to make sure nothing scary would happen in front of me, so I just braked early just to be safe. Make sure I don't run wide coming into the left-hander down the hill like that 4GT. I think he got some help, got nudged wide by someone, but that was a free position for me. And now this right hand corner where it can be a bit sketchy coming on the power, as I perfectly demonstrate myself. The rear end steps out. We've got someone serving a penalty there, and this one is a tricky corner. I struggle a bit to find the right braking point. I know the braking point, but still I either go on the grass on the inside or run wide. It's a bit of a tricky one. It's not like it has that big of a margin. Oh, we've got all sorts of weird stuff going on here. I'm trying a move around the outside. I actually get the move done, and yeah, also these final corners really have to pick the perfect timing to not either run too narrow or run into the wall. And we have jumped ahead a tiny bit now. We've got another penalty. I am trying to get past around the outside, no problem whatsoever. And once again, let's get, yeah, the rear steps out on me again. I really have to learn that one. But we are still alive and slowly climbing up the order. And there is some contact ahead. Someone is nudged wide, and unfortunately he picks up a track limit penalty as well. So that's just extra unlucky. He's definitely not having the best day so far. He's also getting a slight tap, and I managed to get around him as well and also get past the BMW Z4, one of the loudest cars in the Group 3 along with the BRZ, and we are coming up towards the bus stop chicane, and P5 is going really defensive into the chicane, but the only thing he's gaining from that is giving himself a track limit penalty while doing that. So we just try to keep up with these guys, and as we come up the hill, we manage to get past him as well. Now the race has spread out a bit, and it's time to jump ahead in the race. Quite a bit, actually. So we are joining again at the end of lap 5. I am doing my pit stop. For this first race, I decided to just split the race in half. 5 laps on the hards and now 5 laps on the softs. I am on a controller, so I have to keep an eye out for that tire wear on the soft tires. But let's see how we get along. I'm also about to learn about the very cold tires coming out of the pits. The bus stop is basically almost the first corner you really got, and even on the soft tires that can catch you out a bit. But we survived it, just got a bit scared there. We've got some cars ahead of me. I'm not really sure which tires they are on, but we'll just keep this going. and see what sort of pace they are getting. And already coming up this hill, I can see that P7 is certainly struggling a bit already. I'm having a look, but I'm not going to do anything from this far behind. But you can see he is once again struggling on the corner exit. So if he is on the hard tires, then I just have to get around him as soon as possible. Or maybe he's on worn soft tires and need to pit. I don't know that yet. I'm trying a move, unfortunately also a bit of contact, so I'm backing out of that one again. So I'll just have to try again. No, he's not pitting. We'll just have to keep going. And now I'm missing a gear shift, so now the Porsche is on my inside, and I have to leave some room for him as well. And I run a tiny bit wide, so I pick up a half-second penalty. So this wasn't the luckiest lap for me, but as we jump ahead a tiny bit and are coming through the bus stop chicane, we can see that the Porsche get a move done, and I also sneak around the inside of the driver in P7, who is clearly struggling at the moment. And let's just try to stick with the Porsche ahead of me now. I still have to serve that penalty, so I might have to overtake the driver behind me once again if I am unlucky. Let's see if I can stay ahead. It's only half a second penalty. I am just hoping that I can keep it going. We are coming up towards a braking zone. I am defending the inside, and he has to brake earlier than me. My tires are still healthy and all good. We get that move done, and we are jumping ahead in the race. And now we are at the end of lap 8, and someone is serving a big penalty, so I am up a position, and we are jumping to the final lap. I am behind the Porsche now. I seem to be gaining on both of them, to be fair, so clearly they must be on the hard tires. And I pitted on lap 5, so my soft tires are still fairly healthy. So we'll just stay on board and see if I can do something. We are coming up towards the bus stop chicane. He is defending. I am just braking early, making sure I can get a decent run out of the chicane, and somehow it seemed to work. I am sneaking around the inside. He is running wide. I had to go back and check if there was contact, but I think he ran wide all by himself there. Not even the radar arrows were even close to each other. So we just keep going. We've got another Porsche ahead of me, and you can see we're getting close, but I'm not really able to make a move. And as you can see, coming into the final corner, I almost outbrake myself, so I get a bad run out of the final corner. So we will have to settle with a P5 in this one, but not bad for a first attempt, even though it's the morning races on the American servers. Once again, I'm starting without a qualifying time, and it's not because I'm trying to do any heroic moves and just work my way through the field at any cost. It's just because I am still learning this combo, and I prefer to be at the back and figure it out nice and easy. We've got a move done on that Ford GT. For some reason I'm upshifting along with the McLaren in front of me, but I cannot really get past anyway, so it doesn't really matter, but I don't really know why I did it at the moment. Into the bus stop, can't really see where I'm going, so I'm just braking early, trying to get a nice line out of the bus stop. We are still hanging on to the McLaren in front of me, and so far we're doing all right on the cold, hard tires. Being careful into this corner, that can catch you out. If you run too wide, you'll never get the car back on the track. Now let's see if I can go through this right-hand corner without too much wheel spin. There's a slight notch by the McLaren, so the Porsche is running a bit wide, but I am still just staying behind. He was still getting a better run up the hill. The Porsche really got some nice traction out of the slower corners, and we are just trying to keep it going, a bit of sideways action there, and let's get around this final tight corner. Then we've only got the final left and right corner, which are more flowing corners, only lifting for that left-hander, and you need to brake a bit, and we are making our way through the real final corner. There has been some stuff going on ahead of us. I don't really know what that was all about, but we are coming into turn 1 a bit congested here, so I'm just trying to take it nice and easy. I still managed to get a move done on the Porsche, and now we are behind the TCR driver here, coming up the hill, and we are in the same car, so we'll just keep it behind him. Not really much I can do, but look ahead, something crazy is going to happen. We've got a huge crash, 3 cars going off, and we managed to get 3 for 1 sale. Let's have a look what's going on. This is from the view of the McLaren. You can see the Supra is defending and weaving a bit, and the McLaren decides to just put his nose between those 2 cars, and in the braking zone it all goes down the drain, and he's also picking up a 5-second penalty. I would say that was a bit opportunistic. I definitely would have stayed back with the action already getting a bit heated without him putting his nose between the 2 other cars. Anyway, the TCR driver in front of me, he unfortunately for him picked up a 1/2-second penalty, no, a 1-second penalty, coming through the bus stop with that crash going on. So that's a free pass for me, and we are up into P6 now. And now things are settling down, so we are jumping ahead in the race. And at this point we are at the end of lap 4, and I was trying to decide whether to pit or not. I wanted to try if I could do the 4-6 split on the controller, and if my driving is looking a bit dodgy, it's because I was lurking at the minimap to see if I could make anything out of that. But I realized I wasn't even really knowing what I was looking at. I was just hoping for the best, that I wouldn't end up in too much traffic. So we are pitting at the end of lap 4, and let's get on the soft tires and see where we can go from here. Let's get out of the pits. Sorry about the rental car. I forgot to buy the car, and it was a last-minute decision to race on the US servers. Well, not really an excuse now, because this is race 2, but yeah. Anyway, I promise I will get my own car soon. This time I am trying to remember that the soft tires are also cold, so a bit more cautious into the bus stop chicane. Doing a better job this time. And now let's see where we are at after doing my outlap, and we are up into P6 now, so 1 place behind where I was when I pitted. So okay, let's see 1 lap later then, and now we are back up to P5, so where I started basically. So I haven't really gained anything, but I haven't lost anything either, and it looks like I have not really had any traffic. Now it's lap 8, and I am gaining on Sugar Shuffles, a driver I frequently meet in various stream chats as well, and he is on the hard tires. He was trying out the opposite strategy, but luckily for me he had realized that I was on the better tires, so he is letting me have this one without a fight, and we can carry on with the race. So let's see if we can do anything more in this one. Now we are at the end of lap 9. I am gaining on the Ford GT in front of me, and we are staying on board because now my tires are dying a bit, but the Ford GT is definitely struggling as well. So this is going to be a battle all the way to the end of this race. Just trying to pick the right line through these final 2 corners so we don't mess up the run down the start-finish straight. I definitely got a better exit than the Ford GT, and I'm having a slight look into turn 1 basically just to see where I'm going. The Ford runs wide and is also picking up half-second penalty, so now we just have to stick with him. And you can see my front left tire, there's still some life in it, but it's going down rapidly now, so I am losing some grip as well. Coming into the bus stop, I'm just braking early, make sure I can get a good exit out of there, which I didn't really get, but I've got some more grip coming through the corner, so he's not running away from me entirely. Just have to stick with him, because if he is running away from me too much, then he will be able to stay ahead of me even though he is serving a penalty, because we are coming up towards a braking zone shortly after the penalty gate. We are still with him. It's only half a second, so it won't slow him down that much, and you can see it is going to be tight. He is defending the corner, but I am staying ahead of him, and now you can see my front left tire is almost completely gone. Luckily, this is a left-hand corner, so I can keep it going. Yeah, I'm just clinging onto this one, and we've got another left-hand corner, no issues whatsoever, but then the final right-hand corner, no grip left for me, so I am running into the wall. Luckily for me, he was running into the wall as well, so I managed to secure a P3 in my final race of the day on the American servers. This is a fun race, nice with some strategy. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.